What is up, America? And welcome to PlayUSA A to Z, episode 2. It's another installment of the past week's biggest online gambling news from coast to coast, and I am your host with the most, at Granty Lucas in the Twitterverse, Grant Lucas in the real world, here to catch you up. But before we cannonball in, be sure to like us, subscribe, and to get notified on our latest happenings, make like Anita Ward and ring that bell. You're welcome for getting that song stuck in your head. If you don't know it, Google it, hit me up on Twitter. I'll apologize, but really, you're welcome in advance. If you want to learn more about all we cover here, check out the video description below for links. And now, let's get to it. You remember in June how Illinois decided to allow remote registration for online sportsbook users? Yeah, that's over now. Less than 2 months after lifting a mandate that required in-person registration, however temporary, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has now reversed course. The governor issued a new gubernatorial disaster proclamation, bonus points for this guy for getting that right on the first try, reissuing a number of executive orders. Sports betting, not among them. Pritzker will no longer suspend the in-person requirement. He was praised in early June, and for good reason, by allowing bettors to register for online accounts remotely. It did come at a time when the coronavirus pandemic had forced casinos to close, mind you, so finishing that registration process was not really going to happen. Regardless, that's all out the window now. Remote registration is gone, for now. It will open back up when the competitive bidding process for untethered licenses kicks up. That won't be for another year and a half or so, give or take. Pritzker's decision to lift the in-person registration appeared to be a major hurdle for rising legal sports betting power DraftKings, which seemed ready to launch its online sportsbook, only to be beaten to the punch mere days by the governor's recent announcement. DraftKings is licensed, but its casino partner, Casino Queen, was still waiting its certificate. It was also a major victory for the DFS giant, which, along with FanDuel, had long squared off against Rivers' parent company, Rush Street Interactive. That rivalry goes back quite a ways, back to when DraftKings and FanDuel offered DFS contests despite a 2015 Attorney General opinion declaring them illegal in Illinois. And then they went toe-to-toe again last year when the state was drafting rules and regulations for the state sports betting industry. During this time, Rush Street tried its darndest to keep DraftKings and FanDuel from entering Illinois. Cue $1 million ad campaign from the DFS operators aimed at Rivers, an order from Pritzker to remove the ads, and then legislators amending the sports betting bill to basically allow DraftKings and FanDuel to operate in Illinois, albeit with some caveats. Despite all of these obstacles, DraftKings has found a way to go live in the land of Lincoln. Remember those caveats I just referred to? Well, DraftKings basically had to accomplish one of two things to launch a mobile sportsbook. Wait 18 months after online wagering begins in Illinois and then bid for a $20 million untethered license, or partner with an existing casino and launch under that property's brand. Well, DraftKings found a partner in Casino Queen, but if an online book was desired, it needed to be under the Casino Queen brand. So how do you work around that? Hey, let's have the casino rebranded to DraftKings at Casino Queen. Yeah, that's right. Now there's an avenue for DraftKings and to have its brand online. And now it's a waiting game. No official timeline has been announced for its online launch, but it could happen relatively soon. They have what they need. FanDuel could get there soon too. It recently received its sports betting license, though it has not landed a land-based partner yet. Switching gears to a state that has gone the other way in terms of registration, Rhode Island has opened the door for remote signups. Previously, the state required people to visit one of its 2 Twin River casinos to complete the sign-up process for an online account. Governor Gina Raimondo, though, signed off on 2 bills that took away that restriction. And within a month, give or take, bettors can do it all from the comfort of their own homes. Along with the obvious reasons to have remote registration, Rhode Island decided to change course as a way to minimize passage of coronavirus. Lower traffic to casinos obviously means lower instances of physical interaction. In any case, it's a big moment for Little Rhodey. Major sports will be well underway by then. NBA tips off soon, MLB's going right now, and it'll come just in time for the NFL season. So it wouldn't be surprising to see a major spike in new accounts and action. Just consider this, for proof. The Department of Revenue in Rhode Island says some 14,000 bettors started the registration process on their phones, but never completed the journey at a casino. My apologies for stumbling. This is just remarkable. Of course, that has led to some underwhelming revenue numbers. In nearly a year of operations, Rhode Island sports betting has generated just $46 million in handle and just $3.5 million in revenue. Then consider that residents from nearby Massachusetts or any other nearby state could simply cross the state line to create an account and wager. That is obviously significant. Speaking of states making progress, Michigan has moved a step closer to online gaming. The state's Gaming Control Board has published draft rules for internet gaming and sports betting, and they were sent along to the Administrative Rules Division. Retail sports betting has been going since March in Michigan, while online sports books, casinos, and poker are expected to enter the fold by early 2021. 15 casino operators are authorized to roll out one skin for each of those three verticals. For now, after the Administrative Rules Division reviews the rules, it will forward them to the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules. Then the MGCB will need to put together a regulatory impact statement, followed by a public hearing within 28 days. Obviously, there's a long timeline, a lot of work left, clearly a ways to go. But the point is, Michigan seems well on its way to an online launch. Right now, we discuss specific states, so why don't we close this thing out with federal news? Co-chairs of the Congressional Gaming Congress introduced legislation to bring an end to the federal excise tax on wagers. Now, for those who don't know, there's no shame in not knowing. It's pretty minute stuff, but there's been a long-standing 0.25% tax on handle that exists for regulated operators, plus a $50 per employee tax that accepts wagers. Under this proposal, both those taxes would grind to a halt. Representative Dina Titus from Nevada called it a penalty on making legal sports bets, adding that the handle tax makes it more difficult for legal operators to compete with black market sportsbooks. Getting rid of those taxes would help the regulated world attract more business away from offshore entities. Last year, these taxes brought in $33 million. Where has that excise money gone? Funny thing, when Titus asked a while back, the IRS said they don't know. It just goes to a black hole in the general fund, according to Titus. But if this makes any push, she faces a long uphill battle. She's tried before in 2014. That didn't go well. Tried again in 2017. Also failed. Maybe this is the push that gets it over the hump. For now, that wraps us up. Visit us at PlayUSA as well as our sister sites for all the latest news and happenings across the country. Again, check out the links in the video description. Like us, subscribe, ring that bell, Miss Anita Ward. They're giving me the light. At Granty Lucas is out of here. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you again next week for another coast-to-coast rundown from sea to sea on PlayUSA to Z.